Okay, so my kids were fighting, and my daughter slammed the door. My son was trying to open it, and they were twisting the lock and the handles, and eventually they bent things out of shape. And you see how smooth this is right now? Well, my daughter had to like pull on the handle in order to be able to lock, because if she didn't, it just would go like this, and she would pull on the handle a little bit, and then it would go smooth like that. So I wanted to fix that so that she wouldn't have to pull on the handle a little bit before locking the door. So I the took it off the door, and I looked inside, and so I got these two pieces, and then without the door, I just put them back together, just like this. And I noticed that I didn't have to do anything. It just went back and forth like this. I'm like, that's interesting. So why is it all working without the door? And then I realized real quick that, so the screws that I took off over here, they go in here and they go on the other side like this. So it needs to align at rest. So when these two pieces are you just put them together at rest, where the screw goes and the other side, they just need to align like this. So you should be able to just look through here and they should align. But when they were playing with the door, at rest, it looked something like, when I put these together, I already fixed it, but just to show you what it was like at rest, it was something like this, right? You see how it doesn't align? So I started investigating. I was like, well, how can I make it align? And what I came up with, so I noticed that, oh, it's locked right now. So let's unlock it. All right. So I noticed that this part right here, it was sort of, see how right now, which is how you want it to be, it's sort of, this part is perpendicular. It was kind of facing a little bit like this, right? You see how this piece right here, if you align it like this, so it was sort of facing like that, away, not directly across, but sort of facing up like that, right? So I was thinking, how do I make this face this way? And I don't know what the best way, but what I did worked. So what I ended up doing is I was like, okay, so you could probably do it either this way or that way, but you want to lock it in the vise, and probably don't want to over tighten it. But basically, I just tighten this part in the vise, and then I used these pliers here carefully, and then I knew which direction I wanted it to go. So you want to observe, you want to be careful that you don't go in the wrong direction. But basically, I just kind of like tugged at this a little bit to make sure that gave it a little bit of force to, and then let it go, take it out, and then see, put it back together, and then see if it aligns. And at this point it does. I had to do it, I did it twice, just I don't want to go too much the first time, so I saw it get better, but it wasn't perfect. So I did it a second time, and then it was exactly what I wanted it to be. So this is at rest, in and out, in and out. But then the real test is when you put the screws in, and you don't have to even put it back in the door. You should be able to just put the screw. You can just test it by just putting screws in like this. You shouldn't have to adjust anything here. The screw should just go right in, because you've aligned it, and then you should be able to it should still work without you having to to do any kind of pulling on either side. So yeah, that's it. I already put it back on the door, and actually I had it all hooked up, but I figured I looked for a video on YouTube of how to fix this problem, and I couldn't find anything. So hopefully this helps somebody. There you go.